Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dexter and I welcome you back to the Mango Grove. Today, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and SUI. A lot of interesting developments. Things are looking very bullish, but I don't want you guys making the wrong moves at the wrong time. We are going to be talking about how to best take advantage of these opportunities. And as usual, what you want to do for at least the next 2 months is start every morning with the Mango dashboard. You can find the Mango dashboard at app.mangoresearch.co. There's a free version as well as a premium version, and you guys can get access to the premium version by simply using the referral link. Refer one person, get the premium version for free. So right over here, what we're doing is we're going to be looking at Bitcoin on the drop down over here. If you click the drop down, you'll get a quick view of everything you need to see in regards to the trend profile across all time frames as well as the volatility profile. Really important to note that while the lower time frames and the mid time frames have flipped bullish, we are now waiting for the 4-day and the weekly to flip bullish as well. We do have developments over here though. The trend has flipped from short to neutral on the 4-day as well as from short to neutral on the weekly. So we're seeing the low time frames begin to press up against the high time frames. If you switch on to SUI, right, we're going to see the same story over there as well, right? Same story. This is a really good thing, which means it's essentially telling us that while momentum is picking up, we are not late to the party. With Bitcoin, I'm completely allocated, but with SUI, I only managed to get that starter position, right? So I'm in the same boat as many of you. I'm looking to get that next add to my position. How do we go about doing that? I'll be talking about in today's video. So SUI is looking good. Bitcoin is looking good. In fact, they're looking fantastic. We're just waiting for the 4-day and the bi-weekly, or rather the weekly, to flip over here as well. Now, moving on over to the Mango view. To get to the Mango view, all you got to do is click over here on the left-hand side, and we'll show you this entire view with all your indicators, all your convenience indicators right over here on the right-hand side. At the moment, we're currently looking at the 2-day time frame. Essentially, I explained this in detail 2 live streams ago as to why I think you guys should be looking at Bitcoin on the 2-day time frame. It had a lot to do with SUI as well. In fact, I've been explaining this for a while now, so there's not enough time in today's video for me to explain why, but the 2-day is what I've been keeping an eye on. And specifically in the last live stream, what we talked about was the 2-day cloud, right? So you guys can turn off and turn on the cloud by just clicking right over here on your right hand side. And we're looking for Bitcoin to penetrate the top of the 2-day cloud. It was showing resistance for the past few 2-day candles, so the past week now. And you guys can see, and by the way, for those of you who are new to Ichimoku, the cloud is forward drawn, right? So it's not like price is playing out and the cloud is being drawn over here as price is playing out. No, you can see the cloud is drawn all the way up over here. So price is following the cloud. The cloud was pre-drawn like a while ago, like months ago, this area was drawn, right? And price essentially had its edge to edge, cleared over the top of the cloud. If you zoom in over here, now you can see that we've cleared over the top of the cloud. And now we're trailing across, right? So if you aren't in position on Bitcoin, you guys can actually use the bottom of this little hump over here, this the dip, to essentially look for a bid opportunity. 90,450-ish to around, let's say 90,500. Okay, that's around where you want to look for Bitcoin. I know a lot of you guys want to buy at around 80,000, but at the moment the TA is telling us that 90,450-ish, maybe around 91,000 is where you want to look for that higher low. If we lose that though, that's when things could actually come a tad bit lower, maybe around, let's say 84,000. But you gotta play for the momentum at the moment. In my opinion, none of this is financial advice. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because at the moment we're seeing the 4-day dynamic over here on Bitcoin confluence with that cloud level as well. At around 90,300 is the top of the 4-day dynamic, and right over here at the bottom of the 4-day dynamic we're looking at around 88,900, right? So that's where I'd be looking to add to my position if I was looking to add to my position. At the moment, I'm completely fine with my Bitcoin position. I'm not looking to add on any of these dips over here, especially since I'll be traveling for the rest of the week. When I come back though, I'll look for a couple of leverage trade opportunities if the markets present it to me. That being said, if you guys are looking to put on any trades, and especially if you guys are new to trading, take advantage of this BitConnect's campaign that's running at the moment. I believe today is the last day for this campaign. If you deposit $1,000, they're literally giving you $200 back. You deposit $2,000, they're literally giving you $400 back. That's literally 20% back. That's literally a buffer on your trade, right? It's literally a 20% edge on your trade. So you can use this to buffer against losses. You can use this to practice your leverage trading. You can use this to add some stress freeness to your trading. But remember, it is ending 29th April. Today is the last day. Now, moving on, is there anything else we want to talk about? Remember, we're looking at Bitcoin against the gold chart. Bitcoin on the monthly is about to close in 2 days. This is Bitcoin plotted against gold. We're looking for this to hold the mango dynamic, and it held really, really well. Got the bounce just when you wanted to see it. Looking fantastic. Something else I did want to talk about in the live stream that we did today, I didn't get an opportunity to do so, is Bitcoin on the weekly just claimed the Tenkin. So this is another great look for equilibrium. Bitcoin on the Ichimoku now is looking fantastic. Yet again, we have the perfect recipe for momentum continuation. Of course, it's not going to go up in a straight line. We're going to see higher lows, and we're going to hunt for them accordingly. One of the higher lows that we talked about in today's live stream could be coming up against the 4-day dynamic, which is also lining up with the cloud over here at around 90,450-ish to around 91,000. Let's talk about Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance over here. Now, about to close another monthly, still in an uptrend. And we said that as long as Bitcoin dominance is showing an uptrend, we are going to be staying firm on our rule, 90 to 95% Bitcoin only. And that 10% that we're going to allocate towards alts, 5 to 10% that we're going to allocate towards alts, is going to be only strong alts. One of the strong alts happens to be SUI. And we're going to start with SUI now on the dashboard. SUI has been one of the most cleanest, most beautiful trend trades I have seen in a very, very long time. It literally keeps giving us the same trend trade over and over again, 3 times now, okay, to the upside as well as to the downside. The 2-day time frame is the golden time frame on SUI. Right over here, you guys can see I have my FVGs turned on, and you guys can use this for an opportunity. Perhaps the middle of the FVG over here, I don't know, do we get that around $3? I'm not all that sure. What we can also do is, let's turn this off for now, turn on the cloud. What are we seeing over here? The 2-day has not penetrated the top of the cloud here. So Bitcoin is still leading. Now remember, in the previous phase of the cycle, we were using SUI as a leading indicator for Bitcoin. But now we kind of flipped that around, right? We were using Bitcoin as a leading indicator for SUI. And if you look at both charts, you're going to see they're very, very similar, but Bitcoin is leading the front. So we can kind of use that as edge to say, okay, you know what? I think there's a slightly higher probability, because you guys don't want to use this whole leading thingy as a core way to trade, but kind of gives you some direction as to which coins to pick, right? Because I've seen Bitcoin clear the top of the 2-day cloud, I have a stronger belief in or stronger conviction in SUI doing the same. SUI clearing the top of the cloud over here. If it does so, I'll look for it to kind of like trail, perhaps give us a higher low at around $3.50, right? And then continues its momentum. What's really interesting to note over here is that we have a double flip on the cloud. 2 crosses in the cloud, guys. So green cloud, flipped red, and now green cloud again. If you guys are on the Mango C program, watch your Ichimoku module, okay? Rewatch it. If you have already watched it, this phase of the market, you're going to benefit from it a lot. Okay, let's move on to the actual SUI chart now over here. By the way, for those of you who don't have Trading View, this is all you need. In fact, if you go ahead and turn off your cloud and turn on your silver cross right over here, you guys are going to see that SUI is about to have a silver cross as well, showing some really, really strong bullish momentum. Going back on over to the charts over here, we're looking at SUI on the 2-day dynamic. And again, it doesn't get simpler than this. We followed this trade over and over and over again, all the way back in 2023 when we claimed the 2-day dynamic over here. We had a target for around $2, and we only exit our trade when and if SUI loses the 2-day dynamic, regardless of whether our target's hit or not. Now, things worked out perfectly. We hit our target and then lost the 2-day dynamic and trended perfectly against the 2-day dynamic all the way to the downside. Same story to the upside again, held it the entire time, lost it. This time around, we did not hit our target, which was 7,750. Did not matter. I took my profits and told you guys I'm out of the trade. And now we claim the 2-day dynamic over here again at around 250. And SUI has been on a tear ever since. I think the best way to look for a high low on SUI now is going to be the bottom of the 2-day dynamic as well as the 4-day, one of the two, right? So I have this red zone marked out over here for you guys, coming in at 315, let's say 318, top of the zone. Bottom of the zone is around 275. It's a big zone, yes, but SUI is really volatile at the moment, so you got to play with the cards that you are dealt. This is looking fantastic. I don't have targets at the moment for SUI. If you guys are looking for targets on SUI, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll keep you guys updated on the dynamic levels as well. So make sure to hit that subscribe and notification icon. So that way, if I do give you guys an update on the Mango dynamic levels and we do get that bid opportunity, you guys don't miss that video because the bid opportunities come and they go. So yeah, stay subscribed, stay notified on Mango, and don't forget BitConnect's last day for the campaign. You deposit $2,000 for your trading to buy SUI, to buy Bitcoin. You're getting $400 back to buffer against your losses, to practice your trading. Keep it Mango, keep it easy, keep it stress-free. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.